This is the type of problem that I didn't take very seriously when I was in class, but is all over the SAT, so it's worth actually talking about. Okay, so without solving, determine the character of the solutions of each equation. What they mean by character is, are there two real solutions? Is there one real solution? Or are there zero real solutions, but two imaginary solutions, two complex solutions? So that's what we're going to do. And let's talk about how you figure that out. So how you figure that out, well, first off, think about the quadratic formula, because it kind of comes from the quadratic formula. You got x equals negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. So what about that? Well, first off, what about that's going to make imaginary solutions? Well, what makes imaginary solutions in general? Square roots of negatives. So the rule is that if whatever's inside of this square root, which is precisely b squared minus 4ac, if that's less than 0, then there's two complex solutions because we're going to get the square root of a negative. And then what happens if it's equal to 0? If it's equal to 0, then we just have plus or minus 0. And like plus or minus 0, that's the same thing. So that's not going to give us two solutions. If b squared minus 4ac is equal to 0, then we just have one real solution. Because the plus or minus goes away, and the plus or minus is what's creating the two solutions. And then finally, if it's just normal and b squared minus 4ac is greater than 0, then it's just normal and there's two real solutions. So that's what we're going to do with these. We're not going to solve them. We're just going to look at their, and there's a name for this. I don't know why it's not here. We call that the discriminant. We're going to look at the discriminant. And if the discriminant is negative, then there's two complex solutions. If the discriminant is 0, then there's one real solution. If the discriminant is positive, there's two real solutions. So let's do it. So we've got b squared minus 4ac. 4 times 3, 12 times 5, 60. So that is negative. So there are two complex solutions. Easy as that. Next one, b squared minus 4 times 2 times 1. That's positive. So there's two real solutions. And then it looks like this is going to be the good one. B squared minus 4 times 9, 36 times 1, 36. That is 0. So there's one real solution. So like normally I never understood why that was important, because like you're probably just going to solve them anyway. You don't really care what type of solution that is. But the SAT does ask about it a lot, and I suppose it's nice to know. I've found it useful a couple times doing some weird math stuff. So now you know.